Hello, my name is Michael Price. I'm a sales recruiter. I have been for 25 years. I'm here to talk to you about a role with a software vendor, and I'll cover this term low-code automation and AI in more detail. And also I've put here, is it a CSM role? Is it an account manager? That's actually a debate I had with the client, and he's a guy I've recruited for a long time. He says it's an account management role. I say it's a CSM role. He's the client, so we're going to defer to him being right, but I think I'm more right than him. And once you've seen this client, we can have a laugh about it. So the company is a software vendor. They sell a low-code platform. Now, I've recruited in low-code for nearly 10 years, and what I've seen during that time is you had separate products. You had an automation stack, you had a low-code stack, and you now have an AI stack. Personally, I think they're all about automation, and they're about using low-code AI to automate things. And that's why I lump all of these three things together. They've had really solid growth. They're a very stable company. This year they've grown by 35%. Year prior they grew by 54%. And what's interesting about the way that they're selling this is quite a lot of my clients who are in the automation space will say, right, there's a platform, buy it and then automate some stuff. Or if they're selling low code, they'll say, there's a low code platform, buy it and write some stuff. Or if they're selling an AI platform, they'll say, there's a platform, apply it and get it to do clever stuff. And that's fine, and it does work for some companies, and I've got some clients who are really successful using that model. What this client, however, has done is they have built a product for a very specific need, and they've said, there you are, client, have this, it solves that problem for you. And then, once you've got it, and you've solved that problem, then you've got a platform which you can use to automate, build products using low code or use AI. It's a different way in. It's an easier way in as well, I think. They sell into a few different verticals, really. The main ones being health, legal, financial services, and utilities. So let's talk about whether this is CSM or account management. So the target is 400k retention and 200k growth. I think that's a CSM role because actually the focus is on retention and making sure the clients are getting the best use out of the product. Now, actually, is my client wrong in saying it's an account management role? No, of course he's not, because you are managing accounts. It's cross-vertical. Their requirement, they want somebody who understands SaaS-based application software. So by the term application, I mean business applications, so CRM, ERP, analytics, field service management, anything like that. If you knew low-code or automation or AI, that would clearly be an advantage. From a person perspective, I think we've covered that. The other part is, he said that they do very well when they're talking to their prospects and they take their prospects through a story of how they've helped other prospects with similar problems. From a vertical perspective, they're perfectly open. This is cross-vertical and it's across public and private sector. Package, 55k basic, another 50% of that as an OTE, which is why the OTE is 72.5k. It's not capped. And the other part here is, as long as I've done this job, there are always certain markets that are hotter than others. Right now, low-code, automation, AI, that's where the best sellers are sat, because the best sellers are selling the most relevant product to the current market needs, and that's exactly what this client sell. My contact details are on the screen, also the email address of my colleague Jo. It's unlikely you'll speak to her, but she and I do work very closely together. Thank you, I'll hopefully hear from you soon.